Namaste and welcome to class. And thank you so much for your undivided attention. And today we're going to talk about timelines and cycles and how important it is at one point of our life to put them together in an integration way so we are able to complete the process of transcendence. I'll give you an example. Every moment that you live, from the moment that you wake up to the moment you go to bed, it is a cycle of consciousness. You have been given certain gift to unfold in that particular timeline. As each of your moments get together in certain time, because in here I have to clarify something. Each of us live in different time frames. Your perception of time is different than my perception of time. The more you have a frequency up, the more dissolving of the past, present, and future happens, and you enter into the non-time, or what is called the now. But while you are doing this process of transcending time, you're also building time through the different actions and location in certain history that you have chose to experience or express whatever you so want to learn. So let's come back to the example of each day is a timeline, and by the end of your life you have lived in synchronicity with a collective timeline, with a cultural timeline, with events, with certain specific happenings that determine that quality and that intensivity and that rhythm of the timeline. So, for example, things that mark different timelines is when the collective concept of time shift. Let's say, for example, the pandemic. This collectively, we had to agree in certain things. We have to, the mark is from this moment, your life shift or have a different opportunity. In this moment, all these different events that happen, the wars and health and education and movement, are the marking the end of certain times, actually 12,000 years. From the times of the fall of Atlantis to this particular time, the earth have one timeline, but is in disorder, is not in cohesiveness. So you may have the data, but is not very linked to your actual life or to the process of your soul that receive the data in order to make sense of where you're going. So uniting timelines of soul journeys put a mandala in place. A mandala that is received by each chakra. So each chakra complements and supplements some information that it needs to make you more whole. You are just gathering information. That mandala is actively imprint in the Merkaba, where your heart is your center. And from the heart, that divine love can move the actual mandala, the actual Merkaba. Without each line of your timelines, without the integration of your experiences, you won't transcend from third dimension to fourth dimension, meaning the self-responsibilization of all the experiences that you had during the last 12,000 years. There are places and there are people that they mark the end and the beginning of timelines. And these people are choose or have volunteered to mark that beginning and that end. They are leaders, saints, innovators, artists. All this display of new information, think about it. You have been part of it. And that in that many days and many transcendence, you are meant to bring it together into the highest possible frequency that you're capable. And this is where ceremonies come in. That's when conscious meditation comes in. That's when you are deciding to be whole, autonomous in your energy, and your Merkaba can move. So timelines also, I must say, that is a labyrinth. And in this labyrinth, many souls get trapped and many beings get trapped. And you can actually travel over and over in the same frequency of one timeline. For example, there is a timeline of slavery. And in that slavery is the mark that there is a master that take care of somebody or have servants and is not paid. All the energy is collected to one master. Ask yourself, who is your master? Is it your personality? Is it your ego? Is it a relationship? Is it something exterior? Is it your bank account? Who is your master? To what you are a slave to? So, in a very subtle way, you are linking to the timeline of that slavery, right? We have 500 years of slavery in this planet, officially. It's still going. And why is still going? Because the collective still agree to have a master and to be a slave. To what is your idea of slavery? Now, my suggestion to you is that the biggest slavery we have collectively, presently, is our unconsciousness. We're just like ships following something that we have been told or that we think is right or we agree with our mental concepts, etc. So we still link to that. There are other timelines that are more exciting, creative, the movement, let's say, of contemporary art, surreal art, Picasso, Matisse. They demark a timeline, very specific. And with that, you can link as well. You can link to that creative part. So you have all this mix match in your body. Your blood have a different vibrations. So the union of timelines make you cohesiveness in the heart, based in three things. One, life, the eternal life, the eternal wisdom, and the divine love. All these are the glue that brings these timelines together. Now, for some souls that have accomplished something in the timeline, they have got enlightened in that timeline. They are the beaming force of that timeline, and they have agreed to sustain that timeline. When thou enlightened selves with those enlightened masters decide to unite their timelines, the whole entire cycle of the fourth dimension change. And this is the opportunity that we have now in our planet. More people are awakening, and masters from future and the past are showering us constantly to receive those blessings, to receive those potentials. That way, the earth can rise frequency and be in the possible choice that you want to live in. The version of earth that you want to live in is very much in cohesiveness. The version of earth that you want to live in is in awareness and in unison. So the whole transcendence from moving from the earth that is fragmented to the earth that is whole is through the union of timelines. So hopefully this lesson about timelines give you a little introduction about where are you and what is it that you're linking to. Do you have a mentality of 500 years ago? Do you have a mentality of a very compressed timeline? Are you only thinking in the beginning of your life and at the end of your life without really going through any awareness of what had happened to you, of what are your choices? Well, you cannot afford that right now. This is the moment where you are invited to review every single day and see how much percentage of that day you have lived in awareness. You have given the life, the love, and the wisdom that is in you, and that you, united in that timeline, you are a beaming introduction to a new living earth. Thank you so much for sitting with me, and I will see you in our next lesson. Namaste.